Hello, Stitchy friends. My name is Tracy, and I'm OG Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram. And welcome to Flosstube number 53. It is Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. And I'm here to talk about my stitching. Yay! All right, so this is take 2. Technical difficulties. Actually, this particular issue was user error. Over the weekend, I had a Zoom call, or I participated in a Zoom call, and I had switched the microphone to my headset microphone. And normally my microphone is the camera, but I switched it and forgot to switch it back. So I recorded everything about an hour ago. Well, not an hour ago, 20, 30 minutes ago. And when I went to start editing, there was no sound. So, yay me. I get to do it again. All right, so I want to start out by saying thank you so much for clicking play. And if you are a subscriber, thank you for clicking subscribe. I appreciate it. And thank you for spending a couple of minutes with me. Well, more than a couple of minutes. Anyway, thanks for spending your time with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you like what you see. All right, so I start out my videos with acquisitions. And this previous weekend, I went to my local needlework shop for a stitchy group on Saturday. And my local needlework shop is, actually I have 2 of them, but the one I went to was The World in Stitches in Littleton, Mass, owned by Randy. And she had a lot of charts left over from Expo. So, of course, I picked up a lot. And I picked up more than I expected to. And so because of that, I have self-imposed a spending freeze for the next 3 months. We'll see how well that works out. But anyway, here are my acquisitions. I am sure that you have seen most or all of these. These are the popular ones. So, Heart and Hand, Halloween Tiny Town. So cute. And I did pick up the extra one. So I will be doing that at some point. That's fun. And of course, because I live in Massachusetts, I live 30 minutes from Salem. I had to pick up the Salem Sisters Apothecary by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And then going along with Primrose Cottage, I picked up the 13 small Spooky Smalls. I just think they're so cute. I know you've seen this, so I don't have to do a flip through or anything. I'm a little late, but anyway. And then I know you guys have seen this. This is so popular right now. This is Teresa Koget's Hello Halloween. I will be doing this at some point. I won't be doing it as a full piece. I will be breaking it up into little pieces. So, but the one that I'm going to work on probably right away are these 2 guys. Oh, I just love them so much. Oh, I think they're just so wonderful. I love them. So yeah, definitely. And then the next 2 acquisitions came in the mail yesterday or the day before. And I am blaming Helen D. is 100% her fault. Helen is a Flosstuber, and her channel is Helen D, and she lives in Maine. And her Instagram is East Coast Crafter on Instagram. And she's a very good Flosstuber, and she does a lot of finishes, finishing tutorials. She's the one that is hosting the Seasonal Berries by Erica Michaels, Sal. So anyway, I watch her all the time. I think she does a Flosstube every 2 weeks. So her latest showed these two books. These are A Cross Stitch Christmas, and they're by Hirschner's. Yeah. Now, most of you know that I am all about Halloween. I stitch Halloween almost 365 days a year. I am stitching on something Halloween most of the time. But when she did a flip through of these two books, there were so many charts that spoke to me that I need to do. Even this one, I really liked. I'm not going to do a flip through of these because Helen did one, and hers is great. She organized it. It's just a view of the book, and she's flipping through, and she hides all the charts and stuff like that. So I will put a link to her video. So please go watch it if you're interested in these books. Just to let you know, they are $40. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but yeah. So normally priced at $40 USA. They are on sale, on clearance for $5. $4 and some change. So $5. And when I ordered them, I think about a week ago, they had over 1,000 left for each of them. So I guess they had a lot of inventory of these two books. But anyway, Helen, thank you so much for being my enabler. They're fantastic. I love them, and can't wait to get started on some of the charts. They're great. Okay, so that brings me to WIPs. I had 3 WIPs. I worked on 4 things, but I have 3 WIPs. So the first one is Carriage House Samplings, Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I always flip that upside down. Normally this is stitched as one piece. I am doing them individually, and I am working on this block right here. It was a WIPGO goal, a WIPGO number pulled for September. And here is what it looked like before. And here's my progress. So I got all of this section of the tree done. And I realized that I had made a mistake here. I went over one, so I'm going to have to frog probably about 4 rows out of here and then just scoot it over. But it's fine. I can do that, no problem. But it's coming along. But it is done for this year. I will be working on it next year, but it is not called for the rest of the year, so I'm going to be putting it away. Oh, and I'm stitching that on 18 count Sunflower Fields by Seraphim. Yeah. So there we go. The next WIP that I worked on is Hindsight, Last Stitch Cemetery. And again, this was a WIPGO goal for September. Here's what it looked like before. And here is my progress. here we go. So I will be working on this again in a couple of days. And I'll tell you about that in plans. But that is also a SAL that I am doing, participating in with Chris of the BosStitchers and Kristen of our Stitchy group on Saturdays. Kristen is done with hers. She was smart and worked on hers every 13th of each month for Dark 13, and she finished hers. So I did not. But I'll get it done. I'll get it done. And then, so the last WIP that I had is The Wary Approach. And this is by Stony Creek Collection. I am stitching this on, Last Stitch Cemetery was stitched on 18 count Ada that I hand dyed. And this is 18 count Ivory Ada. And here's my progress, or this is what it looked like before, and then this is my progress now. It's so beautiful. I love the green tree, the evergreen, and it's coming out. Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me. I just totally screwed up. Yeah. So this whole evergreen is supposed to be stitched 1/1. Not 2/1, because it's supposed to be the background. Alrighty. Well, I guess I'm going to be frogging today. You know, this is where you need to read the instructions. You really, really do need to read. Special note: cross stitch the background above the red line with 1 strand of floss. Okay, well, there we go. All right. That's painful. All right. So that brings me to finishes and FFOs. Last week I showed you that I was working on a Bent Creek chart called Oodles of Winter, and I finished it. So cute, and look, I even used beads. So it's so cute. All right. So that was my finish, and this is my FFO. Isn't it cute? So this is a JBW design called Halloween in the Round. And there we go. I stitched this on 18 count Ada that I hand dyed. It is a lime green fabric or dye. And then, so this is my first round finish. It was a bit difficult to figure out, but I did it. And so I mounted this on comic book cardboard, and then I mounted it on some orange felt, and then I mounted that onto some striped fabric that I picked up at Joann's, and I added the black pom-poms. And I got this paddle from StitchCon in June at the Annex. So I don't know who it's by. It was just a trunk show there that had a bunch of finishing products. and this was one of them. So there we go. All right, so that is my FFOs and finishes. That brings me to plans. I'm going to finish my September WIPGO, which is the Wary Approach, and I get to frog that whole tree. Yay! But I have 3 more days on that, so today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then it starts October. So October 1st, as I mentioned in my history lesson today, or I will, actually you haven't seen it yet. I recorded it, but you haven't seen it yet. But October 1st is Walt Disney World's birthday. Yay, happy birthday, Walt Disney World. But it is also the start of October Start-a-Ton. So last year I did a thing where I had a new start every day for the month of October. And this is it. So this board is inspired by Brenda of Handworkmaniac. She does a similar board. Hers is much prettier than mine, and much more organized. But she did a board, and I thought it was a great idea. So I did a board. So these are all of the starts that I started last October on each day. So October 1st, I had 2 starts. One was the Collectors by Autumn Lane Stitchery, where I started that with Athena of Stitching Goddess Designs. And then I also started Last Stitch Cemetery with Chris and Kristen. So that's that. So what I'm going to do this year, because last year was all new starts, this year clearly I have not finished all of these. I am going to work on the ones that I have not finished on the day that I started, and then the ones that I have finished, I will have a new start. And that's why you see all these yellow Post-it notes. Those are new starts. So on October 1st this year, I will be working on Last Stitch Cemetery for the day. And then October 2nd, Snail Slime by Hands On Design. And that is part of the Scary Apothecary series. And October 3rd, October 3rd is, I think, the new start. Yes. So that was Bat Crazy by Stony Creek Collections. And I finished that. So I'm going to have a new start, and I designated 9 Lives by Twisted Willow. So I'm going to be starting that, and that is found in the Just Cross Stitch magazine Halloween issue this year. And October 4th is going to be Plague Nurse, and that is by the Witchy Stitcher. I have not finished that, so I'll be working on that. And then the 5th I will talk about next week. So I'm excited. I used the hashtag October Start-a-Ton. So if you have any starts planned, use the hashtag and join along with me. And then, so that's one plan for next month. It's going to be a busy month. So also the numbers for WIPGO have been called. Jessie called 1 and 6. So I will be pulling those out for October. Lots of noises out there. So anyway, so that brings me to a little segment I call This Week in History. This just in. Not really, because it's history and it happened a long time ago. The week of September 26th through October 2nd. September 26th, 1969, the Brady Bunch debuted. In 1962, the Beverly Hillbillies debuted. In 1960, the first televised presidential debate was broadcast between John F. Kennedy and Nixon. And in 1580, Francis Drake completes his 3-year voyage to circumnavigate the world. September 27th, 2021, Netflix announces that Bridgerton is its most watched series ever. In 2019, Greta Thunberg and millions of other youths participated in a week-long international climate change demonstration. In 1954, The Tonight Show debuted with Steve Allen as host. In 1822, French scholar Jean-Francois Champollion announces that he has deciphered Egyptian hieroglyphics using the Rosetta Stone. And in 1066, William, Duke of Normandy, set sail for the southeastern coast of England, beginning the Norman conquest. September 28th, 2008, SpaceX successfully launched Falcon 1, becoming the first privately owned company to send a liquid-fueled rocket into orbit. In 1920, 8 members of the Chicago White Sox baseball team were indicted on charges that they had thrown the 1919 World Series in return for a bribe. The incident became known as the Black Sox Scandal. In 1781, the siege of Yorktown began, eventually leading to the end of the Revolutionary War. In 1542, Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo landed near what is now San Diego and became the first European to set foot on the west coast of the United States. September 29th, 1829, England's first professional police force was founded. September 30th, 1950, the Grand Ole Opry is broadcast on television for the first time. In 1954, the USS Nautilus, the world's first nuclear-powered vessel, was commissioned by the U.S. Navy. And October 1st, on October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock, a 64-year-old man, opened fire on a music festival in Las Vegas, killing 58 people and wounding hundreds more before shooting himself. In 1975, in what became the greatest prize fight of all time, the Thrilla of Manila, or Thrilla in Manila, Muhammad Ali defeated Joe Frazier after 14 rounds. And in 1971, Walt Disney World in Orlando opened. Yay! In 1962, Johnny Carson became the host of The Tonight Show. In 1949, the People's Republic of China was established. In 1932, during Game 3 of the World Series, New York Yankee Babe Ruth made his famous called shot when he pointed to the center field bleachers and then hit a home run to that spot. In 1908, the Ford Model T was introduced at a cost of $825. In 1890, by an act of Congress, Yosemite National Park was created. In 1553, Mary I became the first queen to rule England in her own right. And in 331 BCE, Alexander the Great defeated Darius III, ending the Persian Empire. On October the 2nd, 1985, Rock Hudson died, becoming one of the first Hollywood celebrities to die of AIDS. The extensive publicity surrounding his death drew attention to the disease. In 1967, Thurgood Marshall became the first African American justice of the Supreme Court. In 1959, The Twilight Zone debuted. And in 1780, British Army officer John Andre was executed as a spy after conducting secret meetings with General Benedict Arnold during the American Revolutionary War. And that has been your moment in history. Well, I hope you found that entertaining and informative. I really enjoy doing those little segments. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week.